I had an old bottle of Zymol auto wash from the 90s. It came in a 1 gallon. That bottle had disintegrated on the top, so I had to move it to this container. But I was curious about the difference in how things perform nowadays. You can't even get the Zymol in the 1 gallon. But right off the bat, I can notice a major difference in the color. I don't know if that's just from age or what, but I gotta say, I mean, look, this thing was completely filled and then some. I used up almost all this and then realized, hey, I should do a little side-by-side while I still have a little bit left. So, looking forward to it. Let's throw these in the foam cannon and see how they perform. Alright, we got our OG, we got our new. Let's see how let's mix up 500 milliliters of each. Get ready for the foam cannon. And we'll see how it works. See if there's any difference in the old formula, which is definitely, probably expired, seeing as how it's about 30 years old. And see how it compares against the new formula. Ooh. Smell of the new one is just like pina colada, coconuts for days. The old formula, you could tell there was coconut there, and it just, all the smell kind of faded, and it's just like any generic normal soap smell. But do 30 milliliters for the 500 gallons. We'll do 30 milliliters for the 500 milliliters. As normally, I'll do about 2 to 3 ounces per liter. Right off the bat, I mean, the viscosity, the color, completely different. I was expecting it to look like this, and yeah, no, you see how it is, and just look at that. Just very bizarre. Was definitely not expecting that. And here's what the older stuff looks like. More watery. Probably going to be much easier to mix in. Let's see. And yeah, look at that. Let's get these on in there. Try and get every little bit out. Try not to make too much of a mess. And I am using warm water. This way, it helps to break things down a little quicker. Put those off to the side. And stir it up a bit here. Feels really nice on the hand, actually. A really silky soap. And over here. Oh yeah. Feels exactly the same. This one might feel just a touch less slick, but that could also just be in my head. Let's get them in the foam cannon and see what they do. bat, they both did a really good job. Right off the bat, we can see they both did a really good job cleaning. I mean, removed the bird poop, removed all the pollen. So old formula, new formula, both had the same cleaning power, it seemed, at least with our test subject, right? But clearly the new formula has a lot more foam that clings a lot better, a lot longer. So that's pretty nice. But what I liked is that they both, even though the new one clinged so much, we saw it still pulling off a lot of that dirt and still left enough suds on there for us to do a nice contact wash. So now, go and put them both in go and make up a bucket of them both, foam it back on, and see how the lubrication feels from the old one versus the new one. Ooh. So we got the new formula here. A little bit of contact. Oh wow. That is really nice and slick. So both of them have like this really soft and slick feel when you put your hand in the soap and grab your sponge, your mitt. Let's get that bottom. Yeah, that's feeling really good. Now that feels a little more grabby than the new one. The old one, I mean, again, the old one's expired. It's over 30 years old. The new one, so it's kind of hard to compare, but it's very interesting at the same time. I'm actually curious. I didn't think about doing this before, but I want to grab a towel, dry both sides, and see if there's any difference in slickness. So let's get to it. Be right back. Got our Diva drying towel from the Rag Company. Definitely feel it being grabby. And get it a little wet from doing the windows first. difference in slickness as far as after drying. Definitely notice that this paint is very grabby right now. And that's, just needs some protection. Probably just end up throwing some quick detailer on here, but go ahead and wash the rest of the car. One thing I do want to point out are the wheels. So these wheels were washed with the new formula, and there's still quite a bit of dirt left on there. Now, can't expect too much. After all, they weren't scrubbed. But here, let me make a couple adjustments, sorry. Here, I can see a lot more. I don't even want to scrub it because I know it's just going to scratch. So the older expired formula did not do as well of a job of taking off the dirt and brake dust just from, normal rinse and wash. So I gotta say, the new formula worked great, really powerful, great clinging ability. It's actually used half the amount. So the old formula called for 1 cap per gallon. The new formula calls for 1 to 2 caps per 5 gallon. That being said, we still put 30 milliliters per 500 milliliters for the foam cannon. And yeah, really impressed with how the Zymol worked. Definitely leaves kind of like a nice glow to the paint. And I don't see any difference with that from the old one and the new one. They both look exactly the same to me. Yeah. Liking the new formula. The only thing that I'd say is very different is going to be the viscosity. So as far as the user experience, the viscosity of the new formula, it's much thicker. It takes a lot more effort to mix it in. But not really a big deal, Nothing that I would knock off points for.